What's up, everyone? This is Joseph with the Cardinal Rule with a really quick update for you. The final cuts were made, and I've put together a list of what I understand to be the initial roster based on what I've done in terms of tracking these cuts and such. So I'm just going to real quick show you a really basic screenshot. Not the kind of production value you're probably used to in my videos, but I want to get this out quickly just so you can see it. So here are the players that made the roster. They kept all three quarterbacks, Murray, McCoy, and Strevler. Looks like they kept 4 running backs, Edmonds, Connor, Benjamin, and Jonathan Ward. 6 wide receivers, obviously Hopkins, Green, Kirk, Isabella, Rondale Moore, and Antoine Wesley. They kept 3 tight ends initially, Max Williams, Darrell Daniels, Demetrius Harris. They're keeping 8 offensive linemen right now on the active roster, but you have to remember that Justin Pugh is on the COVID list, so he will come back at some point. So they have Hudson, Humphreys, Beecham, Murray, Winters, Jones, Garcia, and Miles. On the defensive line, they have J.J. Watt, Jordan Phillips, Lucky Fotu, Rashard Lawrence, Zach Allen, Corey Peters, Michael Dogby. Obviously, the special teamers, Matt Prater, Andy Lee, Aaron Brewer. At linebacker, they kept Isaiah Simmons, Zaven Collins, Chandler Jones, Marcus Golden, Devin Kennard, Jordan Hicks, Tanner Vallejo, Dennis Gardeck, Victor DiMichigi, and Ezekiel Turner. Cornerback, we all know what's going on with Malcolm Butler retiring, if you haven't heard that already. But at this point, the cornerbacks are Byron Murphy Jr., Marco Wilson, Tay Gowan, and Luke Barku, who they picked up on waivers. And then Robert Alford is also on the COVID list, so he will be added to this group. And then in safety, we have Buda Baker, Jalen Thompson, Deontay Thompson, and Charles Washington. So when Robert Alford and Justin Pugh come back, what's going to happen is at least one of these players is going to be cut. I would guess Luke Barku, the cornerback, is probably the one who will be cut to make room for those players. But at this point, there are 52 players on the roster with 2 on the COVID list. Again, when those 2 come off the COVID list, that would put them at 54, so they'd have to cut 1. So this is, at least based on the records I have been keeping and the moves that have been announced, what I have is their initial roster. But with all the cuts that are going on, look for there to be some churning of this. There's going to potentially be at least one player that they would add, maybe even more, who are through cuts from other teams. So don't expect this to necessarily be what the roster looks like when they go into week 1. But this is our initial roster. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time.